and I wanted us to talk about this in our final segment. Said, okay, so let's say Don Tracy, we're successful, and Don Tracy is removed or voted out or whatever. Who's going to step in? I think there's solid candidates that could step in and run the Illinois Republican Party. Your thoughts?
There are, Mark, and that has been the excuse all along, is we can't take Don out because, I mean, after all, who would we put in there? I mean, 12 million people in the state. Who could we possibly find to go in that spot? And I think it's really, there's people who benefit from the status quo, people surrounding Don Tracy, people who are, you know, employed by the Illinois GOP, people who do work for the Illinois GOP. They like the status quo. It doesn't matter if they win or lose. They get those contracts. They get that money. And so I think they're the ones who are putting out that messaging that there's no one else. I mean, it's Don Tracy, take it or leave it. The reality is we have a lot of great minds in Illinois. We have a lot of people who have charisma, who have money, who have all the things that would make for a great Illinois GOP chair. You know, and quite frankly, I think if we had that leader, if we had that visionary who could put us on a path to win, I think all the other problems will take care of themselves. The fundraising we'll have the best fundraising if we have a real chair.
You've had a conversation with a deep-pocketed Republican, and what was their conversation with you without naming their name?
I think a lot of people view Illinois like you view Fox News right now, or you view name your failing company. They don't want to put any money in it right now because they see it as a sinking ship. So if you're a billionaire, if you're one of those sort of people, those that can fund races and fund them well, you're not putting any money in Illinois. And a lot of that's because they look at the leadership and they look at the direction of the party, and it's just not worth their time. But if you had a new leader, fresh perspective, who could put the party on a path, you know, unite the party, that certainly needs to happen, but put it on the right path, I think you'd have plenty of people who would want to get on board and invest in that.
And that's true. And I've had conversations with donors to say, once we get this losing team out of the way, and we bring in conservative grassroots leaders that can unite the party, because it's going to send a message to the establishment that you could be next if you don't get in line. Because this is about accountability and transparency. You're right. I've had several of these conversations, I know you have as well, from these donors that are paying very close attention to what's happening in Illinois. And if we bring in the right leadership, you build, they will come.
That's exactly right.
I mean, think about this. In the same time frame of about 2.5 years since the pandemic, the Illinois Republican Party is bragging about raising $2.4 million, right? And they're like, we're patting ourselves on the back. Congratulations. How much have you donated? And if not, why are you here? Says the man who votes in both Illinois and Wisconsin. And if you don't believe us, go check out his voting records. That's public information. For those of you who said, that's not true, go check it out yourself. Right? Don't be lazy. Go check it out. And then come back to us. But, you know, it's shocking. It really is shocking. But I think that we are on the path to winning if we bring in the right team. And Indiana's a perfect example. Same time frame, they raised $10 million. And they're smaller. $10 million to our 2.4. We bring in the right team, we could be raising $10 million too. And imagine all the support we could do and support our candidates. You're listening to Mark My Words. Good night. God bless. See you next week.